The 2025 season is now part of history. But for Jonas Vingegaard, it didn't end the way many expected. A year that should have solidified his legacy as one of the most dominant riders of his generation instead opened the door to an unexpected conversation, one filled with doubt, criticism, and even a touch of disappointment. It's strange, almost ironic, that a cyclist who finished second in the Tour de France, beaten only by a superhuman Tadej Pogacar, and went on to win the Vuelta a España with ease, is now accused of lacking ambition. But that's exactly what's happening. Across social media, forums, and comment sections, fans have turned their admiration into scrutiny. They say he races too little, that he's too selective, that his cold precision has stripped away the emotion that once defined the sport. Jonas doesn't race enough, they write. He's robotic, too clinical, too careful. In an age where cycling is as much about storytelling as it is about performance, that perception matters. Pogacar throws himself into chaos. Flanders, San Remo, even Roubaix. He risks, he smiles, he attacks from 80 kilometres out. Jonas, on the other hand, isolates himself in the mountains, emerges only for the grand battles, and returns to silence once the trophies are won. And yet, beneath that silence lies something misunderstood. Vingegaard isn't lazy, nor dispassionate. He's meticulous. Every race, every watt, every altitude camp is part of a blueprint. He doesn't chase applause, he chases perfection. Still, the modern audience wants spectacle, and efficiency doesn't sell the same dream as chaos. That's the heart of the paradox, a man too good for his own narrative. But maybe, just maybe, the criticism will awaken something new. Because history shows that champions evolve not through comfort, but through fire. And Jonas Vingegaard, calm as he may seem, might be preparing his next storm. Cycling today is a sport of emotion as much as power. Data and watts may win races, but emotion wins hearts. And that's where Jonas Vingegaard's battle truly lies, not on the road, but in perception. Fans remember the daring climbers, the reckless attackers, the showmen who light up dull stages. They love the Pogacars, the Van der Poels, the Evenepoels, riders who live to entertain. Vingegaard's approach, however, is different. He's an architect, not an artist. Every move is planned, every effort calculated. That's how he wins, by eliminating risk. But the side effect of such perfection is distance. For much of 2025, the Danish champion disappeared from the spotlight. While Pogacar rode monument after monument, Jonas stayed hidden, training, refining, preparing. His team, Visma, Lease, defended this philosophy fiercely. He's not here to race everything, one director said. He's here to win when it matters. It's a valid point, but in the modern era, silence creates doubt. The cycling community craves presence, connection, emotion. When Jonas doesn't show up, people start to wonder if he's lost his passion. When he speaks, his tone is reserved, his words minimal. The contrast with Pogacar's charisma couldn't be sharper. And so the legend of Vingegaard risks being written not as a hero, but as a ghost, dominant, yet detached. But perception is a fragile thing. It can change in an instant. All it takes is one risk, one gesture, one act of vulnerability. Deep down, Jonas knows it. That's why whispers of a shift in his mindset have begun to circulate. Insiders suggest that 2026 won't be another year of caution, but of rediscovery. A season where Vingegaard could finally let the world see the fire that still burns beneath the ice. And if that happens, his story could become far more compelling than any criticism ever written. Then came the whisper. Faint at first, but growing louder with each passing week. Jonas Vingegaard might ride the Giro d'Italia in 2026. For cycling fans, that single rumour changed everything. The idea of the quiet, disciplined Dane entering the most chaotic of Grand Tours felt like poetry, opposites colliding in pink. Until now, Jonas's world revolved around one race, the Tour de France. The yellow jersey defined him. The French Alps and Pyrenees were his stage. But after adding the Vuelta a España to his resume, the Giro remains the only missing piece. And more than that, it represents transformation. Inside Visma, Lease, the discussion has reportedly turned serious. Should he risk his perfect tour preparation? Should he face the unpredictability of Italy's weather, its savage climbs, its emotional fans? For a rider built on control, the Giro is the antithesis of safety. But maybe that's exactly what he needs, because perfection, over time, becomes a cage. Recently, in quiet interviews, Jonas hinted that he's looking for new motivations. Something different, as he put it. The Giro could be that difference. The Stelvio, the Mortirolo, the Gavia, roads that don't forgive mistakes, but reward courage. Imagine Vingegaard, a man of precision, facing that chaos. It would be a story not of dominance, but of discovery. Italy would adore him for trying. And should he succeed, the narrative around him would change forever. Pogacar, of course, looms in the background. He's unlikely to race the Giro in 2026, focusing instead on the classics and the Tour. But knowing their rivalry, anything is possible. If fate brings them together in Italy, the cycling world will witness something unforgettable, not just another race, but the evolution of a champion. When Jesper Vore, former pro, Danish legend and respected Eurosport analyst, spoke up, it wasn't just commentary, it was a call to arms. If Vingegaard can combine it, he should ride Liège-Bastogne-Liège, Vore said. And if he wants to be remembered, he must go to the Giro. His words were calm but sharp, echoing through the cycling world like a challenge disguised as advice. Because Vore knows exactly what he's asking for. Risk, unpredictability and emotion. Things Jonas has learned to keep out of his system. Yet, that's what fans crave. They want to see him struggle, to see him fight back, to see him alive. In Denmark, Vore's comments were received with excitement, even pride. It was as if the entire country wanted their quiet hero to rediscover his passion. Because before he became a two-time Tour champion, Vingegaard was an attacker, a climber who thrived on instinct. His early years were marked by aggression and ambition. But with success came structure, and with structure came restraint. Vore's challenge aims to break that pattern. The Liège-Bastogne-Liège, the oldest of the monuments, could be his proving ground. A race where chaos meets legend, where tactics collapse under raw courage. And then, of course, the Giro, the ultimate test of endurance and spirit. If he doesn't want to, Vore added, then fine, focus on week-long stage races. But if he wants to be great, truly great, he has to dare. That line resonated, because daring is what makes legends. Winning makes champions, but daring makes icons. And maybe that's what Jonas needs most right now, to remind the world and himself that he's more than numbers and control. He's a racer, and racers chase dreams, not just results. Jonas Vingegaard has won the Tour. He's won the Vuelta. And yet, people criticize him. They say he races too little, that he's lost his fire, that he's become too cold, too clinical. In 2025, he finished second behind Pogacar in France, dominated in Spain, but the doubts remain. Maybe, though, Vingegaard is preparing something bigger. Inside Visma, Lease bike, rumours are growing. The 2026 Giro d'Italia could be his next destination, the only Grand Tour missing from his palmarès, a stage for redemption, for legacy. Even Eurosport's Jesper Vore has spoken out. Jonas should ride Liège and the Giro. If he wants to be remembered, he must do it all. So, does Vingegaard need to race more, or has he already proven everything? In Cycling World, we reveal the story behind the silence of the champion.